without further ado,
Yeah, there you go.
Steve, we welcome in Bill's Vice President of Operations and Guest Experience, Andy Major, who was kind enough to bring you your drink, which you left in there in the
Mage,
studio
thanks.
in the break.
Appreciate it. You're my favorite.
He's a man of service.
Dr. Pepper.
Well, you know, there you go. He's for the fans out there. Thanks for coming on. We were just talking. It's going to be a big adjustment with the parking and the fenced-off area over there. It's going to be new and different. People are going to have to adjust to it and get used to it. What are your, what can you tell them that's going to help them?
Yeah, I think the good news is compared to last year, we're going to basically be about the same number of car spaces.
Oh, really?
So we work really closely with a lot of different agencies this off-season and trying to figure out the plans, how it's all going to work. But Erie County was instrumental, Department of Transportation from New York State, the sheriff, our parking teams, et cetera. So we really worked real close on this. The biggest thing is fans are going to see a gigantic hole out there, and that's where the new stadium's going.
That's where I used to park.
Yeah, but from a parking standpoint, unfortunately, we're not bringing back the camper lot and the RV lot, right? So right there, we're going to save some spaces. That's exactly where the new stadium site is now. And then the bus and limo lot is going to be a reduced capacity, so we're not going to have as much space needs for buses and limos as we did last year. And then the other big change we made was for game day staff. So game day staff will now park at ECC in the lot area that has never been used for cars before because of the construction project. And then those spaces will go to fans. So really we're offsetting the losses, so to speak, which will really help us this season. Next year, 25 and 26, that'll be a little bit different story. We're gonna have to refocus on the whole project again.
Right.
Here's a question I have. If people are parking west of the stadium, beyond the construction site, I know the sidewalks are closed on Abbott, right? On the sidewalks will
still be open.
They're open. So
Yeah.
what is the best walking route if they're parking west of the stadium and have to get around the construction site?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, Brownie. Fans are used to probably using Community Drive, which is right in the middle of the construction site now. So there's a fence around the whole site, obviously for safety purposes. It's a working zone. What we're working with Orchard Park Police and with all of our partners, we're encouraging fans to walk on the north side of the campus, take the large sidewalk on Southwestern, right to Abbott Road, and right to the stadium. So instead of walking through directly to the Community Drive, kind of towards where the team store is located, they'll walk just on the north part.
So maybe don't try to walk up on the shoulder on Big Tree to get to Abbott. Southwestern's your best bet because of the nice wide sidewalk they have.
Yes, that's absolutely right. And really, most of those lots on ECC's campus are actually closer to Southwestern, which really helps us out.
Oh, good.
So, yeah, we want to see how that plays out. There's some talk about maybe some future planning for the new stadium about what we might do with some of those roads and adding sidewalks or larger footprints there. But in the next year to 3 years, we have a little bit different.
People are going to be shocked if they haven't seen it at how big that pit is over there. I've been equating it to a strip mine. I mean, it's big.
It's big.
It's big.
Yeah.
And
it's gotten how much bigger just even in the last 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's like a black hole. It gets bigger and bigger. They're almost they may be there now because the last time it was a few days ago. It's like they're going to go 35 feet deep or 35 feet deep, and the whole footprint. I mean, it's like. So people are going to be, that's going to be as interesting, believe me, in a preseason game, that's the most interesting thing about tomorrow.
Yeah,
I want to see that pit.
You know what's kind of cool is fans are trying to picture how big it's going to really look, right? Yeah. And so one of the things that our new stadium construction team has shared with us, John Polka and the crew, they're doing a great job trying to keep things on schedule, on budget, and moving forward. If you look at the old Highmark Stadium, the current stadium, and the top of the lights,
that's where
the top of the new stadium.
Well, I've heard an update. It's going to be even taller.
Yeah, even a little bit.
Frank Cravata, who's one of our design specialists on the stadium, I saw him out of training camp. He goes, we have a new number. It's now 25 feet higher than the top of the light stanchion.
Yeah,
is how high the stadium's going to go.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Yeah. But knowing that you've done your best to offset the loss of parking spaces due to the construction site with other areas, as you just mentioned, Andy, maybe talk to me about fan plans to get here and make things easier for themselves. Instead of maybe having you and 2 other buddies come in 3 cars, carpooling. Talk to me about that, number 1. And then number 2, the NFTA is back with the Game Day Express. Why don't you just kind of share some of the information on that too?
Yeah, I think, you know, a lot of fans already carpool and come together, but yes, it'll absolutely help everybody's situation, the more fans that carpool. And if you're going to tailgate together, maybe you try to ride together, or maybe you meet up somewhere else locally and then come together to the stadium, and then after the game you go back to your other cars. Those are things that are really going to help not just the Bills parking lots, but also the neighborhood parking lots.
Right.
But the NFTA thing, I think, is a great idea. Like, you just park it like a satellite lot away from Orchard Park, jump on the bus for like $5. Like,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
It's
we're
$5.
excited
like-
about that. Working with the NFTA has been great. They're real good partners with this program. You know, we're working with them to try to help bring game day staff on the buses as well from all
Okay.
the partners that maybe work or live downtown, but they're working here at the stadium. So staff are using it, and then the fans are also using it from multiple sites. So it's called the NFTA Game Day Express. Fans just go on the website for NFTA. They can kind of pick and choose maybe what's the best location, what's the best timeline for them.
Because they have a pickup point downtown. There's a pickup point in the North Towns, I want to say, and other locations. So you have to go to NFTA website to find out where those pickup points are.
Yes, they show the points, they show the time frames, and then after the game, we all try to make it as easy as we can for the fans too. They can pick up those buses post-game right on Abbott Road, right in front of the stadium.
Yeah, that is great.
And they'll be staged there waiting for the fans and game day staff to
And
depart.
the key thing, though, for people just plan way ahead, have a plan, allow extra time. You know the lots aren't going to open until 4 hours before, right? So that's at, do the math.
9
for me.
o'clock
That's
in the
9 o'clock.
morning. Yep.
9
for 1
o'clock they open
kickoff.
up.
Yep.
And of course, you'll stand by the neighborhood lots. Thank those people so much for being a part
You
of
know,
this.
fans don't realize, I think, and when I first heard this number, when I first started with the Bills years ago, we park more cars and fans park in more neighborhood parking lots than any of the Bills lots. You know, so we've got 70,000 fans for a sold-out game. We may be parking 30,000 of those fans in Bills lots.
Right.
The rest, you know, close to 40,000 fans.
They got their own
out in
deal,
the neighborhood
yeah.
lots all over the place. Yeah.
So they're kind of helping defray.
We just so much appreciate the neighborhood lot owners
Yeah.
and what they do to help fans.
because they lighten your load.
They really help. They just help the whole operation in general. It's a collaborative effort, right? I mean, we've got this great team of partners that work on the game day operation. The folks I mentioned earlier, not to mention all the Bills departments that are involved internally. But then you throw in all the different neighborhood lot owners and what they're trying to do now to even help park RVs and campers on their property.
Right.
Or even buses on their property if there's bus needs beyond what we're able to park.
So it's an ongoing thing. I mean, you
It
go
is.
through this every year, but you know, last year you had the lowest number of fan incidents in team history. They care about each other. The experience has been just unbelievable because it's a collaboration. The fans have to be in on it too. I mean, you have to have that kind of atmosphere.
And cooperation.
And so, you know, Buffalo fans we've always known the Mafia is different.
Yeah.
And they prove it.
I mean, if you were a season ticket holder, I would say 15 years ago,
Right.
and just remember that, and then compare that to last year. A lot of fans that maybe haven't been to our stadium in a long time, they're thinking that it's 15 years ago, the
Right.
fan experience, and it's just so much different.
Right.
And for a lot of different reasons, and we could spend a long time
Sure,
talking
nobody's
about
exactly
that.
the
But
same, yeah.
to see the number of fan incidents go down year over year over year, and it really started probably just over a decade ago when the Buffalo Bills as an organization decided to really pay attention to the little details, whether it was one car, one space parking, no smoking in the stadium, you know, having uniformed Erie County Sheriff present in the lots, increasing our guest services staff to help fans with different things
Right.
around the venue, picking up the garbage in the parking lots, making your experience a little nicer in the parking lots. Fans really took notice to little things along the way, and it really started to make a difference overall with the fan behavior, with the way fans felt about their tailgating experience, their experience in the seats, et cetera. So we're excited that it's made such a difference. As a matter of fact, to watch the team start to be so successful the last few years, it's kind of like all married come together.
Sure.
Yeah.
With the on the field, off the field experience all together at once.
You can feel it as well. Like we go out and we'll go to the combine, or we'll go to the other places. And when I was traveling, the national perception of what a game in Buffalo is like has become a destination. Like national media, because like I got to go to Buffalo and see what that's about.
Yeah.
They really want to come in and experience a home game in Buffalo and find out why, it's become such an iconic venue.
Yeah, I mean, it's not about the craziness that we saw on viral videos, 5-10 years ago. It's more about Bills Mafia and what that fan base is about,
Right.
how much they love their team, how much they love their players, what
Yeah.
they've done in the community.
Right.
What they've done for other players
Right.
in
Yeah,
their
right.
communities.
Right.
I
It's
mean,
about-
that's what we love about our
I've
fan
also
base.
said this too. The mafia thing is because Bills mafia means family kind of
Yeah.
thing. The Bills fan base has an affection for each other.
Yeah.
That it doesn't describe other fan bases the same way. There seems to be this thing like we go.
There's a
worldwide.
communal thing to
Yes,
it.
worldwide, you'll get to go Bills on a beach in Greece. You'll get to go Bills on a
In an
downtown
airport.
street in Denver.
We all have that experience.
Yeah.
And it's pretty
so
special.
It's pretty cool, and
it
it's there's an affection and a friendship there that's
great.
that's unique to this region.
It really is.
The last thing about tomorrow, Andy, for
Yep.
those fans bringing kids to the Kids Day game, we know about the kids tailgate, but where is everything going to be staged for kids tomorrow so they know where to walk to on the stadium property?
Yeah, I mean, our events team has done a great job setting this up for fans and for kids and families. It's going to be on the northern part of our parking lots, really the location right next to the Prohibition. So right next to that restaurant there on the
Right
corner.
on the corner of Southwestern
And it's that
Avenue.
it's actually the new bus and limo lot,
Okay.
which we're not parking any buses and limos in there tomorrow, obviously. But that's all for kids, and you can't miss it. It's where all
Okay.
the activity and the fun
So
is.
like the northwest corner of the property
Yes.
is where everything's going to be
Yep.
staged, and then maybe a couple of things near the Bill's store on Abbott Road.
Oh, and then
too.
Abbott Road, I mean, along the team store, the focus is Kids Day in
Right.
that corner lot, but yes, the team store is going to be very active. I mean, it's been active
Right.
basically
all season.
every day. Is incredible the number of people going through that
The
store.
place is an anthill every day.
They've
There's
got
people
some,
there all the
The
time.
merchandise, the offerings in there is just a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's
And there's
great.
a lot of photo ops outside that building.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's just a fun spot
Yeah,
to go
with the
visit.
Mr. Wilson statue and everything
yeah.
too. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
great. Andy, thanks for the time. Thanks for bringing us up to speed. And just a word for all the fans out there. This is the first run through for Andy and his staff as well under all of these new guidelines. Patience for everybody. We're all here to have a good time tomorrow. Please be patient. These guys have prepped to the hilt, but just bear with us as we all navigate it tomorrow beginning at 9 a.m. If you missed any of Andy's points about how to handle tomorrow, you can go on buffalobills.com. There are details there as to all the festivities going on tomorrow and where you can find them, or you can go on our Bills YouTube channel as we'll have this full segment up on the show tomorrow. So, Andy, thanks much for coming in and filling everybody in. Good luck tomorrow. I'm sure it's going to go smooth.
Thanks, Brownie. Thanks, Steve. And thanks to Bills Mafia. We appreciate pardon our dust as we work to get the fan experience better. But we're coming close in 26, so it'll be there before we know it.
That's Bills Vice President of Operations and Guest Experience, Andy Major, joining us here.